Welcome to a reading for Libra. You've got this, is what I hear. Your whole identity is changing. The way you show up in the world and how other people see you is also changing. At times you might look in the mirror and wonder who is looking back at you. Maybe time has passed, you're getting older, more lines, or your hair might be greying. But you're looking back at all the challenges and how it's weathered you in some ways, and you're wishing for a time where things were a lot more balanced, particularly in your relationships. The harmony may seem to have gone. The balance no longer there. Your diplomacy might be running a bit low too. You just don't have the time to buoy up somebody else in a relationship. You're really sort of hyper-focused on yourself at the moment. Old habits that no longer serve are being reviewed. So what have these old habits been? Habits that saw you burning it at both ends, I hear. Partying when you were younger, doing things that might have made you age faster, or you're not particularly 100% looking after yourself because of how you're feeling at the moment. The good old drink more water and get more rest. That might be great, but when you're in a state of, I hear, duress, it's very difficult to do these things and very easy to fall back on old operating systems where you used to do certain things to alleviate stress. Be hyper vigilant about this. I hear it's very easy to go too far at the moment, and or you're over people around you going too far. You're not going to tolerate it any longer. Whereas in the past, as I said, you could have been quite diplomatic in scenarios. Now you're getting the sword out and cutting and slashing. Cutting and slashing the old ways for yourself, as in I'm no longer going to be drinking on the weekend, or no longer smoking, or whatever it is. Self-sabotage, staying up all night. I'm actually going to try and get to bed. Too much caffeine, too much exercise, whatever it is, too much. Whatever the too much is, you're needing to pull it back, and you're really wanting to do so. Seeking joy in the pattern of every day. And what is your daily pattern? When you wake, what's the first thing you do? Do you grab for the phone? Do you hook yourself into the matrix straight up? Or do you actually have a chance to actually spend some time with yourself? I think that your brain's working so far, it's just going so fast and so far into the future that any distraction will do at the moment. Any distraction. And so you're realizing that it has gone too far. That I don't feel grounded. I don't feel centered. I don't remember that. I can hear you say, I don't remember the last time I felt anything like that. You could be feeling quite depleted, beautiful Libra. So please look after yourself at the moment. But yes, as it says, no feeling is final. Everything passes. And you're hyper aware of that. You know that everything has its time and its place. And it doesn't matter what happens in a relationship, things will change. But I think you're really deciding to pull your energy back and to really self-assess at the moment. What can I do to make myself feel better? And no, it's not reaching for that can of beer or that cigarette or doom scrolling until 4 a.m. in the morning. And you're realizing that. So let's get some advice for you. I'm going to have a look at any love blocks. It's going to be tough to start with, and you know it too. But when you put your mind to something, you can be absolutely determined to do it. And so your universe is asking you to make the choice. Are you going to keep on going the way it's going in this relationship, in your world, in your work? But particularly physically, are you going to keep on doing this? Or are you just going to go, no, that's enough, and cut it off at the pass? Visualize, be clear about what you want. Now, this is hyper important at the moment. Visualize what you want and not what you don't want. The more you focus on what's going wrong, the concerns, the problems, the issues, the more you end up with concerns, problems, and issues. What do you want? And you need to sit in quiet contemplation, and you know it, to come up with a decision. And sometimes it can be very hard for you to do so. So the more external stimuli, that's coming into your world, the harder it is for you to decipher what's your thoughts and what's just expectations and the wider ideas coming into your world. What is it you want, Libra? What is it you want from your life? Is it health, happiness, balance, beauty? To look in the mirror and see yourself aging backwards? And I hear it doesn't matter how much collagen supplements or whatever you can do, like pharmaceutical wise, if you're not drinking enough water or resting, it's still going to show. So what is it that you truly want? And I'm hearing I need to completely always strive to get ahead, to show up, to make people think that I'm okay. Well, are we all okay? And what is okay to you? No feeling is final. Everything passes. Everything passes. So even this time will pass. And you might feel time is passing you by. By being stuck in perpetual patterns, it can seem like time is passing by. And you may be wanting to find those distractions to take yourself out of the everyday grind, to make you sort of feel like you're living and to remember something different. Always seeking external validation outside of yourself. And or someone else is doing this to you and keeps on putting you off your game. But we'll get some more advice for you. Advice for Libra, please. Yes, you could be very much looking to the external to find the answers, particularly like online medical advice. Externalizing the energy instead of balancing your dark and light, your shadow and your light. Feeling that something else that presents itself bigger and right in your face is the answer, and then diving to the next answer. But what it's actually going to take is to disconnect from all of that and pull your energy back into yourself in quiet contemplation. And this could feel completely foreign to you. Meditation. Online meditation could help, particularly guided meditation. And no, you don't have to sit in these uncomfortable postures too. I'm hearing I don't want to sit in those uncomfortable postures. Don't. It doesn't have to be so dogmatic. You know, this is the way we meditate. We sit like this in this uncomfortable posture and it hurts my back and I can't do it type of thing. And so you don't do it at all. Many ways of justifying yourself out of actually taking the time to yourself. But see, meditation comes in many forms. And meditation can be as simple as just stopping for a moment and focusing inward on your breath and listening to your heartbeat. That can be a meditation. But you can do guided meditations and lay down if you get the chance just before bed or as you wake. Will really be of benefit here. And there are many good ones on YouTube. Check them out. Joe Dispenza does great ones about putting you back into your body and focusing on your chakras and then taking you out into the void, which is very, very Libra, and it's like the inward and the outward. Have a look at him if you're at all interested. But yes, and water healing, to be around water, but to intake water will really put you in a place of quite amazing balance and make you feel like you're actually starting to move ahead instead of going backwards. It'll give you some pride again. You know, today I didn't drink that bottle of wine. I had a nice glass of water. I sat and listened to my breath for a little while. I took a time out for a second and I went to bed early. I hear that could be that sounds like the most boring night ever. Hey, but it's different, isn't it? And see, that's what you're seeking. I think you're seeking something different. Well, give it a go. You never know until you give it a go. And if you are just doing that constantly, it might be time to go out and actually connect with others, or to go outside, I hear too. You could literally be spending too much time inside. It's very easy to get separated from ourselves when we spend so much time inside, or inside the matrix, inside the computer. But there's a Leo here, a fire sign. It's really wanting to cheer you on, that's for sure. Advice. You're remembering a lot of the time when you were younger, particularly if you used to have a skateboard or want a hoverboard too, I hear. Back to the Future could have been something really big for you. But you can see this young person here has got quite a suit of armour on. So when you're going out or presenting yourself to the world, you could be quite armoured up, ready to fight, but the actuality of it is you're soft and squishy, and you really want to show, offer your cup to somebody or to something. But as you present from the distance, is you're moving extremely fast and you're covered in armour. It's not until you get up close to somebody that they actually see that you actually want to engage emotionally. So realise it could be perceptions other people have from a distance, but also perception you have of yourself. Advice. But see, the thoughts just keep on happening. I love this card. The cows. You could feel like one of those cows. Literally just minding your own business. The next thing you know, something from out of the blue just shows up and just zaps you into a completely different state. And I'm sure that cow's not at all happy. Or that's what you're expecting to happen. When I stop and just mind my own business and chew my own cud is when I end up vulnerable. So there's something also that's constantly catching my attention outside. So when you try and do that meditation of some kind, there's always something that happens that tries to pull you out of that. Everybody wants something from me, I hear. Well, it's really important to actually focus on you at the moment. You could be looking back at times too where you feel others acted inappropriately, or you feel you could have acted better in a scenario. If only things had been different, I hear. If only I could take back time. Well, that's one thing we sure can't do. But there's one thing that we can do, is how we see things of the past. Stop running the same old narrative or the same story, I hear. How can you step out of victim or blame mode and realise that everything that happens in our life is just a lesson, a chance to learn? I'm not diminishing anything that has happened either, because there's in this life, a lot of extremes, some pretty horrendous things. But how can you see things from a different perspective now? Because if you're constantly thinking back there, your body doesn't know any different. That fight, flight, or flee or freeze activates in your body when you go over the trauma. And it can deplete your adrenals and end up leaving you feeling absolutely exhausted. So how can you be more gentle and kind to yourself today? By not running the old horrible stories, the horrendous stories through your mind anymore. To look after you in the present right now, because the present's the gift. Advice. At night, you feel free compared to the day, the daily grind. At night, you have flights of fantasy too. But it's also an indication to look up to the stars. What is it you're aiming for? And you must have your feet on the ground to have your head in the sky. So how do you ground yourself as well? During the day will have a lot to do with how you feel in the evening, I'm hearing. The less grounded, the more up in the sky you can be. And it could have a lot to do with a Taurus or an Earth sign here. But to bring stability into your life, you could be dealing with an Aquarius as well. To bring stability into your life here and to actually feel grounded and secure and confident in yourself, you've always known that you need something to aim for, something in the future. And if you haven't had that for a very long time, you can be quite dogmatic. It's now time to envision a better future for yourself. A time where you can be a lot lighter and freer, and also move into your more feminine side. Ruled by Venus, there is great beauty and bounty within you. It's Taurus, your opposite sign, also ruled by Venus. It's time to be more Venusian in the way you show up and the way you relate to the world. As in loving on yourself, loving what you see in the mirror. No matter how you look. You could wake up and think, oh my God, I look so darn shabby. You know, look at that hair and geez, I've got bags and all the rest of it. Well, that's just setting you up for a day of feeling shabby and less than. We can't all look perfect every day, and nor is every day perfect. So do not keep on striving for perfection in your life, because in this world 3D matrix, there is no such thing. But we can look after ourselves in a much safer, more down-to-earth way by taking care of responsibilities, and know that what we dream, wishing upon a star, can be ours if we make slow and steady progress towards it. So if you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, how can you make slow, steady progress towards one, telling yourself that you're amazing, you're doing good, you're looking great today, you know, I've got up, I'm healthy, I'm, you know, all the rest of it, instead of, oh my God, I look like shit, and, you know, you haven't got your shit together, or whatever it is. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing on YouTube. Don't beat yourself up too much. It's okay to laugh about it too. Yeah. Don't get so much in your head. Put your feet on the ground. Get back into your body is really important. Love on your body. Love this physical vessel. And just get some more advice for you, beautiful Libra. But there's distractions, particularly from expectations of how you should show up in the world. Distractions far and wide. I'm hearing Instagram and all that other sort of stuff, you know. Do all things in moderation, absolutely. So don't go overboard in anything. Don't think that you have to sit in the most uncomfortable situation for 6 hours straight to find enlightenment, because all you're going to be worried about is how sore your back is and, you know, what you haven't achieved. Don't have your head up in the clouds so much either. Make sure you bring your energy back down into your feet. It's not all about money. You need a lightness of spirit too. Remember those times when you were younger and you wanted a hoverboard. See, a bit of lightness. Don't suit up so much. Don't have to armor yourself so much. Need to balance. So I suppose a Libran way of doing it would be to armor your body and to also hold the cup out. And yeah, that is balance, I suppose, but it's in the extremes. Stop focusing on all the things that went wrong, the memories, and telling yourself you're waiting for the next shoe to drop, basically. Or who's going to rip me off next time, or what's coming next. Because that's what you're projecting into the future. Okay? Sometimes the challenges in life are what we learn from the most. But don't set yourself up for challenges constantly. Life doesn't have to be a struggle and a strain. Expecting life to be a certain way. Old habits that no longer serve are being reviewed right now. So be very gentle on yourself, okay? Look after number one. And make sure you tell that person in the mirror every morning they're doing awesome, because I tell you what, they are. I really hope that helped. I love you all, and bye for now.